Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel Accounts Guru Cool. Learn accounting online. So today we are here to discuss about reasons for failing interviews, 7 common mistakes to avoid. Most of the times when we attain the interview and when we have the rejections from that, when we know that we got the rejected, then what's the reason for that? Most of the times employers used to just send the email stating that sorry, you are not selected, and best of luck for the further interviews, something like that. Few interviewers used to put it some uh, details about that, but more than 80-90% is going to say that no, sorry, you're not selected. That's it. Now, how we are able to know that why I am got rejected? What's the reason for that? Why I fail into the interview? Then here we are going to discuss the same 7 common mistakes to avoid. So when we are going for any interview, how we have to prepare ourselves and what mistakes we have to avoid to not see the rejections. If you want to win, we have to do the plan for that. We have to make a strategy for that. We have to ensure we are not going to do any mistakes in interview. Whenever we are going to discuss anything about the any future plan, most of the times we used to do the preparation for that. We used to have the certain projections about that, how that's going to be, what we have to take the precautions, how we are going to work for that, how when we are going to start, what might be the circumstances going to be there, how we will be tackle with that. So that's all is going to be about the plan if we want to do something in the futures. If you have anything to do in the coming down for next after 3 days, 2 days, if you have any projects, so we used to do the make a plan for that. So similarly, we have to take this interview also is one of the challenging concept for ourselves, one of the projects for ourselves, one of the achievement for ourselves, and we have to prepare in that way. And we have to evaluate what sort of challenge is going to be there and how you're going to overcome for that, and what sort of mistakes going to be there and how you're going to avoid for that. Just in the last week, I got on a call from one of the viewers mentioning that the HR round is got cleared, and when the next round was with the managers, but I failed to crack that round. Then I asked what was the reason for that. So the managers mention the whatever you have updated in your CV, whatever you have updated in your current roles and responsibilities, or whatever you have mentioned your expertise, and if I ask the questions about that, still you're not able to answer. That's the one of the reason for not selecting you for an interview. Whatever you have mentioned into the CV, you have to be 100% aware about that, and you have to be ensure you have the in-depth knowledge about that. That's also the one of the part of our common mistakes to avoid. So there are a number of such kind of things, but we have captured here the most 7 common mistakes which we suggest you guys need to avoid when you are going for an interview, and that's we are going to discuss here. So request viewers to be with us till the end of this to know more about that, and like, share, and subscribe our channel to get the more practical knowledge related to accounting and finance. In addition to that, if you want to connect with us related to any query about accounting and finance, either it's a training or either it's a work. If you are facing any challenge in your day-to-day work as well, it's going to be great if you put it in the comment by creating the any case studies that you are in. We are here to create the content on that. Might be your one query going to give the knowledge to across to all of the our viewers, and somehow that's going to be help for other people as well. other our viewers as well. So you can connect with us on our email ID, that's accounts.gurukul@yahoo.com, or you can connect with us as a finance@tinydeeperllp.in. So we'll jump towards that. The first reason towards the failing in interview is that lack of interview preparations. Then how you're going to overcome this? That's also we have to discuss. And what is mean by lack of interview preparations? Try to get someone who is experienced at interviewing candidates to help you by doing a mock interview with you. This is going to be the, you can see, the practice makes man perfect. Something is going to be there. Whenever you are going for any interview, you have to get your mock interview done from experienced at interviewing candidates in your field. In our field related to accounting and finance, if we are going to given any interview, so we have to find out someone from our field who is much more experienced related to our field, and we have to ask him, hey, I have an interview, and this is the jobs, roles, and responsibilities. This is my CV. Can you take a mock interview for me? That's going to be helpful for you, as like what we do into the college as well. When we have to prepare for the final exam, before that, college also used to conduct the preliminary exam to know what sort of questions is going to be there. Either you are able to solve that within that time frame, how you're going to handle that situations. It's going to be take your mock interview, mock preparations for your exam, something like that. So whenever you are going for any interview, lack of interview preparation is going to be see the failure in your interview. So you have to do the preparation for that. You have to get an idea from someone who is experienced into your field, might be from your network, from your colleague, from your friends, anyone, or you have the option to connect with us as well. If you want to go for any interview, you can share your CV with us, your job descriptions for that interview, or you can ask the question for us as well, or get a mock interview done from our end. We are happy to do that, and we are not going to charge anything for that. That's also is clear. It's going to be always help for our viewers, and we are going to take the mock interviews, and we're happy for do that. So you have to prepare for that. Try to talk to people in similar industries and jobs and get their take on what the interviewer might ask or look for in you as a candidate. As we already mentioned, so we have the 17 years plus experience into this accounting and finance field. So might be we will try to explain you what sort of questions going to be there and how you have to prepare for that. And if you don't have the knowledge about that, then you have to enhance before going to attain the interview. But yes, lack of interview preparation is the one of the biggest reason going to be considered as a failure into the interview, and you have to prepare for that. Second, not able to explain the questions on current roles and responsibilities. This is also the one of the top reason for interview, failing in interviews. Not able to explain the questions on current roles and responsibilities. Because whatever you have added into your CV, you have to explain about that, not from the past profiles, but at least from your current profile, whatever you have added over there as a roles and responsibilities. And if someone is asking the questions about that and still you are not able to give the answer, it means you have just added the roles and responsibilities over there in your CV, even though you don't have any idea about that. Having a knowledge and updating into your roles and responsibility, that's also is going to be added benefits. But if you are adding over there, you have to ensure at your end if anyone is going to ask the questions about that, you are there with 100% preparations to answer for that. Then you have the right for that. But if you are added and you don't know about that concepts, then that's not the good. You are not going to be uh, earn the trust of your interviewer. So first you have to do the preparation of your own CV itself. What you added over there, either you have the knowledge about that, either you are able to explain that concepts what you added over in your CV. If somebody is going to ask the questions on that, either you are able to give the answer for that. And if it's yes, then you have right to add anything, even though you haven't worked for that. But yes, it must be required you have the knowledge about that. So that's also the important thing. Not able to explain the questions on current roles and responsibilities, then 100% you are going to be not selecting that interview. 80% questions going to ask from your CV. And since we have mentioned in it about our day-to-day activities, then we have to able to, or we must able to give answer related to that, or else 101% you are going to reject in interview. 101%. So try to focus towards that before going to update your CV somewhere, before going to share your CV somewhere, before going to attend the interview. Reinsure that whatever is there in your profile you mention in your CV, you are going to give the answer for that. That's the one important aspects you have to keep it into your mind. Next is going to be lack of clarity in your interview answers. What it means by that. Mental strain can play a huge part in providing a muddled answer to questions. What does it mean? If you are unsure exactly what the interviewer is asking or is trying to click from you, ask them about the context and if they can rephrase the questions. Lack of clarity in your interview answers. So when interviewer asks any question to you and if you don't understand that questions, re-ask the question to interviewer. Can you just repeat that? Can you reframe your questions? There is no any harm to ask. But if you don't understand the questions and you are giving some different answer for that, then that's not going to be the good when you are giving an interview. That's also is going to be lack of clarity in your interview answers. What he asked, what you are giving the answers, that's all is opposite. So how he is going to select you in interview? So avoid these things. If you don't able to understand the questions, ask the question to him. Can you just repeat? Or do you want to ask this question? If it's not, then he is going to reframe his questions. So lack of clarity in your interview answers going to be one of the reason for failing in interview. So don't do that. Next is going to be providing bad example. So I don't know the word is correct or not about the bad example, but it's going to be says that providing uh, irrelevant examples. You can say that. So poor evidence for your past experience can result in failure. When asked about your relevant experience, it is the best to paint a pictures and illustrate your answer with real life examples of where you have worked well in the past and any success or improvements you have implemented. So the providing the bad example, it means that if somebody is going to ask you any questions and if he interviewer asks, can you give any example for that? If he asks any terms, giving what's mean by accruals, what's mean by deferred revenue, what's mean by foreign exchange, unrealized gain loss, what's mean by realized gain loss, you explain the term, explain the meaning, and if he asks, can you give any example? Then we have to take the help of the real life examples. So we can't take the imaginary or which is not into the routine. So you have to ensure whenever you are going to give the any examples, so you have to give the real life example for your concepts, or else that's not going to be workable. Next is going to be providing irrelevant answers. If you absolutely do not know the answer to a technical questions, say so honesty is to be admired and it's often refreshing. There is two different concepts. One which we discussed earlier is that giving the answers without understanding the questions. That's the different. And here, providing irrelevant answers. It means that you don't understand, or here as well, you don't have any knowledge about that technical questions, but still you're trying to give the answer for that. There in the earlier one, you might be having knowledge, but you don't understand the questions, and you are explaining something different, and he asked something different. But here, you don't know the answer for that, but still you are trying to answer it. So that's not the good idea. It demonstrates that you will put your hand up and ask rather than say nothing and make mistakes. You can also add that you are willing to learn and explain why you haven't had experience in this area. But if you absolutely do not know the answer to a technical question, so honesty is to be admired and is often refreshing. So we have to say, ki, boss, I don't know the answer for this, and I'm willing to learn, and I haven't worked till now on this particular questions. I haven't faced such kind of questions, but I'm willing to learn for that. So that's a good idea. It's perfectly acceptable and understanding for an interviewer to discover that you don't know everything about the job or the organizations. After all, you may not have worked there before. Next is going to be disrespecting your current or previous employer. Don't do this. Never ever bad mouth your current or previous employer or any of the employees. It comes across really badly and sounds like sour grapes. It also says so much more about you in a negative way than it does about your previous workplace. So never disrespecting your current or previous employer in anywhere. Even though interviewer used to ask you why you are leaving your previous job, how was your experience, even though you have the worst experience, but never disrespect your previous employers and your current employers as well. So that's going to be give the negative image towards you. And the rest and the last, being overqualified and being underqualified. And for this, you can't do anything for this. If you apply for a job for which you are overqualified, a recruiter may believe rightly or wrongly that you may leave at the first opportunity when you find something more challenging which fits your skills. It's important to preempt this fear and reassure the interviewer that the post you have applied for is the post which you would commit your skills and talents to. Next is going to be this can present its own challenges. A recruiter will want to protect their own interest and choose the most suitable candidate if you are underqualified. If you are underqualified, this will obviously present doubts that you are capable of carrying out the demands of the rule. One way to allay these fears is to use other scenarios and experience, be this voluntarily work, family, management rules, and general personality traits which demonstrate that you would indeed be capable of the role. The interview provides a golden opportunity for you to convince the interview panel that you have what it takes. Take on the challenge and knock their socks off by matching your experience outside work to their job criteria. So being overqualified and being underqualified, that both is going to be have the issues for failing an interview. So that's all the reasons for failing in interviews. That's the 7 common mistakes related to avoid when you are going for an interview. So whatever we have discussed, that's based on the practical, and try to avoid all these things, because that's going to be show you the rejections, and that's going to be the common mistakes we have to avoid when we are going to attend for any interview. Thanks guys for being with us till the end of this, and request viewers to like, share, and subscribe our channel to get in more knowledge related to accounting and finance. In addition to that, if you are looking for any sort of training, you can connect with us on our email ID accounts.gurukul@yahoo.com, or connect with us on our email ID finance@diudeforllp.in. Thanks, guys.